Guys, so it's been a long time collection here. I know a lot of people have been hitting me up since the Pillar of Souls incident in that video, wanting to know the follow-up. That I said there was going to be a follow-up, another prop that I purchased at that same auction, and crazy enough had issues again. Ah, boy, prop store. I want to love you. I want to love you. We should be like this, but we're like this. I don't get it. But anyhow, I purchased, in addition to the Pillar of Souls, I was the moron that bought the Lost Boys jackets. Yes, all four original vampire jackets. And we're going to take a look at those right now. And I'll also tell you pros and cons, if you will, of that purchase as well. So let's start with Billy Wirth's jacket, shall we? Now, yes, I'm going to have these on display. I'm going to have them on mannequins. I have a whole idea of, you know, where I'm going to do that at my office and everything. I haven't had time, so as of now, they're still here, and I'm going to have to show them to you like this. Propstore.com, you would think I got it from them, right? But, you know, I don't have a COA. We'll get to that later. Here we go. Billy Wirth's jacket. Ooh, look at this. Now, there were several of these made for the film. You know, there was stunt jackets, there was special effects jackets, there were the hero jackets. This definitely isn't the hero one. This is one of the stunt kind of flying rig ones, I believe. You can see this has been sewn up in the back here. This was cut open for I believe, probably the flying harness, or maybe one of the stunt harnesses that pulled him backwards or whatever. But as you can see, the thing of beauty here. Oh, the inside is signed by Corey Haim, by the way. Death by Stereo. And it's funny because Corey was a friend of mine and a former client, and the only thing I ever had him autograph was a Lost Boys poster that was my ex-wife's, that I pretty much have everybody on. And guess what? It's hers now. So I finally have a Corey Haim autograph, which is just kind of crazy that I never really had him sign anything. But as you can see, this thing is very weathered. The hand-painted cheetah on the arm there, and very cool. Lesco Leathers, apparently, was the company. I don't think there's anything else too exciting on the inside of this. He was a very slender individual, that's for sure. I don't think I could get this on. I could try, but I think I would fail miserably. I can just tell by how small it is. But this will look pretty sweet on a mannequin or a bust. I'm going to do it on like a floating bust kind of situation. It'll be nice, very nice. Billy Wirth as, was it Dwayne, I think was his character's name? Well, I'll put this back in its little prop store figamajig right here. So I'll kind of tell you the story of what's going on with this COA situation. So when I bought these, they gave me a COA. The COA was for all four jackets. And I contacted them and I said, hey, look, you know, they're four separate wardrobes. Can't I get one for each one? And I got a response back, have the email, which I will show you. Everything was received in an excellent condition. Couple of things. I had asked if it was possible to reach out to the seller of the Lost Boys jackets just to get some history on them. Could I be put in touch with him? Lastly, is it possible to get separate COAs for each jacket instead of just one for all four? Thank you, Sean. Hi, Sean. I'm glad to hear the delivery went well. We can definitely reissue the COA. Can you return the one you have or destroy it and take a photo of it torn up? No problem. As a matter of policy, we don't connect buyers to consigners, but I believe we may be able to assemble a bit more info on the history for you. We will work on doing that and follow up shortly. Then I received this from Ryan from Prop Store. As Brandon stated before, we just need you to show us a picture of the destroyed COA that was already included previously. Just simply ripping it up is good enough. Where the guy said that if I either mailed back the original or gave them proof that I destroyed the original, that they would replace it. And they sent me a picture, like kind of, a picture of the new COAs done. Like, here they are on the desk, you can have them if you do this. Unfortunately, the incidents I had with them, with the Pillar of Souls, I wasn't really feeling very trustworthy of them, being a little extra cautious. I think I had every right to be. I thought, you know what, I don't feel comfortable just mailing it back to them. Although I took my COA and I scanned it first just to have a good copy of it, even though it has a hologram sticker and stuff on it. And then what I did is I went and I shredded it. So I took my phone and I went to film it. I thought I had hit record. So this is my mistake, but hear me out. And I thought I was recording it and I shredded it. And I looked at the phone and realized it didn't record. And I'm like, shit. I did destroy it though. I pulled out, we're talking the thing's filled, shredded paper. And I'm trying to find anything that looks like it so I can, and I took a picture of what I thought looked like some pieces. And I sent it to them. I said, look, I shredded it. I thought I was recording. I wasn't. Anyway, they said, well, no, we need proof. And I said, well, here's the shredded COA. They said that I had to either give them the proof that it was destroyed or mail back the original. So what I decided to do is do both. It is in here amongst, I guess you would say, shredded paper. So I'm going to send this entire thing of shredded paper back to Prop Store, fulfilling my obligation twice now, destroying it and returning it to them. Trash bag. Digging through this to find a card that was this big, not be easy, but I am going to fulfill my obligation and send it back to them. As you can see, there's quite a bit in there. I think I should do this outside. There we go. Hope it all can fit in this bag. It's a lot. Don't want to leave any COA on my front yard. It's in here somewhere. I'm looking for it as I dump it. At least I'm returning it, right? That's all that matters. Let's see if we can get it all in there. I did that pretty well, actually. All right, here you go, Prop Store. I'm gonna pay to ship this back to you. Again, fulfilling my obligations twice. Let's see. Now, something I want to state here is that I don't really feel comfortable stating how much I paid for the jackets, although I felt that it was crucial to make the point of just how ridiculous this entire situation is. Because if it was just some jackets I bought, people would be like, yo, man, get over it. You bought some jackets, you didn't get a COA. Well, I bought some very, very, very expensive jackets. And you think it would be the least you could ask for to get a certificate of authenticity after you've done everything that they've asked you to do. So, yes, this is coming off as very bratty and like I'm having fun with it. But at the same time, I'm also pointing out a real injustice, I think. And anyway, I shipped it, and you can imagine the results I got. Now you could say, oh, this is you just being a smartass, Sean. Well, yes, but I'm also complying with what they requested. I poured out all the paper in the shredder into a trash bag, put it in a box, and I mailed it directly to Brandon at the Prop Store with an explanation like, this is what you told me to do. Destroyed, and I'm giving it back to you. Best of both worlds. He then responded and said, nope, not good enough. Sean, I received your package. There was a requirement from you to prove to us that you destroyed your original COA. If you did that, we would reissue. You have not done that to date. The volume of shredded paper that you've delivered to us far outweighs the photo of shredded paper you sent on August 18th, where you claimed it was part of the shredded paper. That's because I scooped off just what was on the top, you know. Unfortunately, I do not believe you're acting in good faith with this situation, and we can't entertain this any further. So basically, they're saying you're lying to us. So they're calling the customer a liar. So basically, I dropped 6 figures on jackets that they won't give me a COA for. I then asked them if they could put me in touch with the original seller so I could at least maybe get something from him. Nope, they said they don't do that, that they do not give out that information, which I found a little funny because I just watched a podcast with the writer of the new Shining Collector's book, Lee Unkrich, who is also a director, directed like Coco. I think he directed Toy Story 3. So he's a big deal. So maybe big deal people get special treatment, because on this podcast, which I will reference here on the screen, I just started subscribing to him. Great show. And they talk props and stuff. They asked him, what about props that he didn't win from the prop store? Was he able to get in touch with those people or, you know, feature them in the book? And he said, yes, the prop store put him in touch with those people. I was like, oh, really? I guess you do that for some people, but not for others. Good to know. Maybe if this channel blows up a little more, maybe I'll start getting those extra perks. It's all silly. It's just freaking silly. It's retaliation. Let's face it. It's retaliation for my Pillar of Souls video, because I talked poorly about a guy that was a dick to me, and they wanted me to take it down, and I wouldn't take it down. So they're punishing me now, apparently. I'm being punished. So just keep that in mind, people, that when you buy from prop store, hope nothing happens to your COA. If you lose it, you're totally screwed, apparently. They will not help you. Or maybe they will help you. They just won't help me. But hey, if you guys are willing to take care of me, I will gladly make a follow-up video saying that you guys made it right. I would be more than happy to do that. I'm all about transparency and being real. I'm being real with you. Be real with me. Come on. I'm still buying stuff from you. I've bought stuff since that happened. And we're going to show some of that stuff today, in fact. So this was Brooke McCarter's jacket, who played Paul. Oh, Paul. Oh, wrong movie. This one's really cool. I like this one a lot. Now, I don't believe, unless this faded, I'm not sure if this is the original, because the original was black, but there is a chance that this could have faded over time. I would like to talk to the original owner and find out some more about it. And by the way, even though Prop Store would not help me locate the original seller, consigner of these items, I tracked them down. So, I have a little more backup as to where these came from and such. So, I believe, let's see some holes back here. I don't know if these were potentially for stunts or flying or what have you. I'm not sure on this one. I'm excited to talk to him to find more about these, because I believe there's slits back here. There's a good chance there was flying rig for these for stunts and all that stuff. This one is really cool. I like the leather. I mean, it's funny is when you feel it and you feel the material and everything. I mean, it's pretty cheap, really. I mean, really, if you get down to it, but it's supposed to be sort of thrift clothes, sort of punk rock, do-it-yourself kind of vibe. I mean, it's weird. Is this cuff here from a leather jacket is the heaviest thing on this entire jacket. This thing is really out of place as far as how everything else feels. This is super thin, super thick and heavy. So there we go on Paul. I can't wait to have these all displayed so you can see them all together. It's going to be really cool. All right, so next we're gonna go with the leader, the vampire leader. We're going with David. Probably thinking, well, why aren't you ending with David? Why would you go to, because I think Marco's jacket's the coolest. I'm sorry, but Marco had the coolest jacket. It's not because Alex is a friend of mine and I'm playing favoritisms, because Brooke McCarter's a friend. Actually, I know all of them but Kiefer. Met Kiefer, but I wouldn't say I know him. I knew Brooke very well. He was a client and a friend. I know Billy, yeah, Alex is my boy. This is David's trench coat. Now, one thing you might notice is a little different. Here, I kind of even give you an example over here. See the David bust up there? You see the brown collar that's coming out of it? And you'll notice that's not on this, right? Well, that's because he was wearing a leather jacket under this. So that's a brown leather jacket collar coming out, folding over the front. So that's why it looks a little different. Wish I had that leather jacket to add to this, but as of right now, I do not. But I have his main jacket, so his trench coat. So full disclosure on this right here, I added. Now you see how there's a piece here, and you'll notice it's the same as this, right? Well, I sourced out the original metal and found one online and added it just for display purposes, because this is what came with the jacket, and you can see it broke right there. See how it attaches? Apparently the one from the film broke. So I have that piece is the original. This is added. It's an authentic metal, just like the one in the film. It's the exact same one. I just added it just for display purposes because it looked weird missing this part. All the rest of this, though, however, is screen used and accurate and everything. A little watch thing I thought was cool. Yeah, right here you can see where it was sewn. I believe this was for harnesses. I think there's one on this side as well, maybe not. Yeah, right here. Probably for stunts. I believe inside, let's take a look right here. Yeah, you can see here how it was cut open. See, my hand can go through it to be able to allow like a harness for flying or stunts. If you look at the stitching on the inside, like they sewed, I think these are like, they use like different sleeves or something. I don't know, but you can see how there's a lot of work that went into this. It's not just the off-the-shelf jacket. Let's go to this side. Yeah, you can see here, same thing. It's weird, the inside's all tattered, but you know, that's so you go through this pocket, I believe, to be, yeah, and be able to put a harness thing in there. I'm trying to remember which one of these jackets had a Warner Brothers tag in it. Thought it was this one. Maybe I'm missing it. I can put this one on because it's so oversized because he wore a jacket underneath it. Yeah, it's hard to figure out where your hand actually goes through this thing. It's got so many cuts and adjustments. Yeah, this is hard. It's hard to figure out. There it is. There we go. See, I just need that leather jacket. And see, I think the sleeves are extra short like this because the leather jacket came out of the bottom as well. Or he just had tiny arms, little Kiefer arms. Pretty cool, right? Jacket. You're wearing a jacket, Michael. How does it feel? No. Anyway, it's hard to believe that this Kiefer Sutherland was wearing this on set. Like, you know, it's amazing. Feels magical. I feel like I could fly. No, probably not. And finally, my favorite jacket, the creme de la creme of Lost Boys jackets, Marco's. As worn by Alex Winter. And oddly enough, the person took this to Alex at a convention and had him sign the tag. As you can see, that's Alex's signature right there. I recognize that anywhere. All right. And anyway, again, Alex, admittedly a small individual, height-wise, but he was also a lot smaller back when he was a youth. And, you know, it's a tiny jacket, really. But it's heavy because of all these patches. Isn't that cool? Look at that. I'm actually going to put this sucker on, even though it does not fit me. And I'll look ridiculous in it. But this way you can get some shots of it actually on me, and I don't have to stand here and hold it. Oh, wiggle my way into this. Okay. This is like, I feel like Ferrigno in the Hulk. You know, anyway. Check it out. And I screen matched this one. This is actually the one that Alex is wearing when he's hanging upside down just before he's killed. I matched that with there's certain patches that are slightly off from some of the other ones. And this one matched to that scene of him hanging in the cave. But yeah, I love this. Get a good look at this bad boy. I like this weird, like, squid fishing lure thing. It's obviously very old. It feels a little sticky. That happens to silicone and rubber over time. I'm actually glad it's not crispy, but yeah, I'm not gonna. If I really flex, this thing could just tear. It could just tear if I break out the gun show. Something else that's kind of interesting about this, if you notice the Warriors patch here on the back. Now I thought maybe, because it was also a Warner Brothers film. The Warriors was Warner Brothers film, and I know they repurposed some vests from the Warriors and took patches off them. For example, one of the vests, I believe it was Rembrandt's from the Warriors, they took the patches off and they reused it for an episode of Taxi. Tom Hanks is actually wearing a Warriors vest, minus the patches. But I thought maybe this was an original patch that ended up, you know, they just repurposed it, but it isn't, because comparing it to the real Warriors vest over here, it's definitely a size difference, as you can see. Looks like this one's, well, I don't know, maybe it just looked, I don't know, maybe, no, I think it definitely looks slightly, also the skull looks a little different, the teeth, yeah, so, yeah, and the flames, you can tell it's different. So maybe they just replicated it, maybe these were test patches from the Warriors. Who knows? Because this patch was created for the Warriors, and you know, this is clearly sort of a replica. But you know, I thought maybe they would match up, but they don't match up completely. So my theory of it possibly being taken off of a real Warriors vest and put on here. Odds are they probably didn't have that many, because they had to make probably minimum 4 of these jackets, you know, with stunts and hero jackets and everything else. You got the motorcycle stuntmen, you've got the stuntmen that were hanging from wires and, you know, doing those types of stunts. Then you got Alex. I know he had his hero one. He had the one for when he got stabbed and the blood shot all over it. So there's definitely at least 4 of these jackets in existence. You know, could possibly be more, but I think I talked to Alex about it and he said he believed there was about 4. So anyway, this is my favorite one. This is the one I wanted. And, you know, I've always kind of kept an eye out for this one becoming available, not thinking I would buy all 4, you know. So the guy that had these, it obviously took him years to acquire all 4, to be able to seek out each jacket and put them in one collection. I mean, it's really a lot of work doing that kind of thing. And I'm definitely interested in hearing his story about how he found everything and where they all were. There is a COA that they did send me that came with the Billy Wirth jacket from the person that, the guy who consigned it at the prop store, who he originally bought it from. There's a COA for this jacket. The other 3 did not have them, to my knowledge. So I'm dying to hear the stories of where these all came from. You know, because one thing about these items, just like any item I own, they're borrowed. You know, they're not going to be mine forever because I'm not going to be here forever. Everything we own in life is borrowed. So they're going to keep moving, man. They're just going to keep moving. And it's crazy to think in 500 years from now, somebody could be watching this YouTube video, sourcing back, they're like the 30th owner of this jacket. Like, remember that old movie from the 1980s? Oh my God, the 1980s. And it'll still be out there. I mean, one thing that's cool about jackets is these will last, you know, as long as you keep them away from moths and stuff like that. Jackets will last, unlike foam latex or latex, which unfortunately foam latex and latex, no matter how we treat them, they eventually are going to turn to dust. You can slow down the process, but they have an expiration date. Fortunately, my stuff should at least last until I'm gone, so I can enjoy them while I'm here. So this is it, yeah. So I've got all 4. Like I said, would love to find the other jacket that David wore underneath the trench coat, but, you know, if you're out there and you have it, let me know. I'd like to add that to the collection. Oh, it would be cool to get Laddie's jacket. I don't know if anybody has Laddie's jacket, because he was a vampire. So, you know, Michael's jacket, meh. I mean, I'd consider it. I mean, because he became vampire for a little, but he was a traitor. Michael was a traitor, let's face it. These guys offer them the good life. Party all night, sleep all day. Come on, man. He was living the dream, and what did he do? He turned his back on him. He was ungrateful. He had a hot chick he could have hung around with for eternity, and clearly, and didn't have to stick with her. I mean, obviously she was with the other guys too, and they were already over it. I'd consider Michael's jacket, but I'd rather get Laddie's. Laddie's would go good with this collection. Star, you can keep her outfit. Only Star. Let's check a couple other Lost Boys items I picked up as well. Let's look at those. So I picked up a few other Lost Boys items and another prop store auction. And these are some of the hero teeth. Now this one, they had this listed. I don't know whose mouth this is on really. But they had these listed as a set of Max's teeth. But I've determined that I believe these are his stunt double's teeth, because they are different than his. And it says right here, Ed DBL. I don't know why they didn't figure that out, that it was his stunt doubles, but they had it listed as his bottom fangs, which guess what? They didn't have bottom fangs. Good research. And is also probably why it does not really fit on this thing that they provided with it. Regardless, I mean, it's cool. His, you know, have his stunt doubles teeth, but then we have the real ones. Actually, Edward Herman, who played Sam. 2 different sets of his teeth. These are a clean version and a dirty version. That's the clean version. And then this, the dirty version. As you can see, they're a little more, have some detail to them. The teeth are rougher and they're painted a little more dirty. And you can see faintly here, it says Ed Herman on there, very faintly. And on this one as well, very faintly. Obviously these are made for his teeth. Yeah, see, so they're two pieces, so they would go up in that area, but they would go like that. It's been 40 some years. I doubt there's any germs on them anymore. And if they are, oh well. I got Edward Herman's germs. I'm cool with that. So this is obviously molded off of his mouth, and those teeth were made to fit his teeth, so that's why they lock in perfectly with his. And then lastly, I got little laddie's teeth. Little baby fangs, little baby laddie fangs. So it'd be more like that, you know, because sitting like this, obviously for display purposes, but they would be like this. Chance Corbett, uppers. Chance Corbett, who played Laddie in The Lost Boys. And you can see they actually did it as a one piece. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't try to force them out. They're in there pretty good and I don't want to break them. That piece right there, he probably has a weird tooth that comes down a little bit that it probably connects into. I'm guessing there's maybe a piece broken off of the mold. I doubt there's a piece broken off of the actual tooth, because these are pretty strong, and these molds are just plaster and they chip very easily. But for his one little scene where he vamps out, you know, what do they call him? This something possessed Eddie Munster or something. I don't remember what the line exactly, but they make some reference to Eddie Munster. Yeah. Those are his teeth right there. And I don't believe they had a stunt double for him, because he really didn't do anything except for go like this. With some wind. Anyway, so there's a little extra Lost Boys action. And guess what? I have COAs for those. They gave me separate ones. Thank goodness, right? Actually, come to think of it, I think they gave me a separate COA for the Chance Laddie's teeth, and then I have one COA for the other three. You know, if you're gonna sell various items in an auction, various pieces, you should give COAs for each piece, because sometimes collectors want to piece stuff out. Like, for example, do I need 2 sets of Edward Herman's teeth? I don't. I could easily sell one of those to another fan, right? But then I have to go back to Prop Store and ask for another COA, and then they would give me the same. It would be the same vicious circle. It just keeps going like this. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Collection with Sean Clark and all my Lost Boys goodness. Great movie, one of my faves. As you can see, look over here. Actually, since we're in here, look right here. Look. A little Kiefer Sutherland signed David action figure. And just below that, Jason Patrick, Michael. Not wearing his leather jacket in this action figure. He's not wearing it. So, just one more reason to not want that jacket. It's not even on the action figure. See? You can see the dual jacket on Kiefer's though. See, they even showed that pretty well in the on the action figure. But NECA, you know, they do a good job. They don't mess around. Randy does good work. So. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode, and see you next time on The Collection.